What motivates me? You mean besides Merlot and puppies and chocolate? This interview question is really tricky. Why is it tricky, you might be asking? Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm going to answer that question, and I'm also going to give you some examples if you stay till the end of the video on how exactly you can answer this to the best possible result. So stay till the end, and I'll talk about all of the reasons why this is tricky, how you can craft a perfect answer, and then you'll be able to practice it and succeed. Let's talk first about why they are asking you this question in the first place. Why do they want to know what motivates you? Well, it's not maybe what you think. An interview is about a lot of things. It's your qualifications, it's your experience, it's your personality, it's your fit with the culture, the ethos, the values of the company. The what motivates you question is one that helps them figure out some of these things. It is similar to the question, what inspires you? What led you to applying for this position? What drives you to go to work each day? But there is more to it, and that is why this is a fairly tricky question to answer. A friend of mine recently had a rotten cold, and she was considering not running in the half marathon that she had been training for weeks and months, until her husband promised her a very special bottle of wine. And so that motivated her to follow through, even though she wasn't feeling 100%. She was motivated by a delicious treat. And that's wonderful when we're talking about personal things, but not great when we're talking about a job. The interviewer wants to know what makes you tick, and they want to know if you will fit the role. So while talking about your personality and your experience in your answer, you want to keep on point and you don't want to get sidetracked by talking about something irrelevant, which is really easy to do because most humans love to talk about themselves. And a job interview seems like it's supposed to be all about you, which seems like it might be the perfect opportunity, but that is a ruse, my friends. That is a ruse. It's actually not really about you. What? It's not. It's about them. The whole point of the interview and all of the questions that you ask is because they want to know that you are going to solve their problem. You may or may not be the answer to their problem, and that is what they are sussing out when they ask you all of these questions. So let's get to answering this question well. So besides watching this video, congratulations, you need to practice very, very well. And here are 5 things that this answer that you're going to practice is going to accomplish. The first thing it needs to be is honest and real for you, and it needs to be work related. When they're asking you what motivates you, it's okay to have a personal touch, to say a little bit about what motivates you that might be on a more personal nature, but you always want to bring it back to work-related motivation. That's number 1. The second thing is it needs to relate to the exact position that you are applying for. So you need to know that job description and what they're looking for inside and out, and be able to even use the words that they are using in the posting to relate it back to the position that you are applying for. It needs to not be too general or vague, and it needs to contain certain specific examples that you can use to demonstrate your motivation. The fourth thing is it needs to be concise, which means short. So I already said it needs to hit the points outlined in the job description or somehow relate to the specific position, but you might even want to relate it back to the company's mission statement or vision or value statements. If you can find those on a website, or you can watch a video or look in their newsletter or something, there's somewhere that you can search to figure out what it is that is part of their values and their mission. And that would be really excellent. Holy smokes, Jen, how can I hit all 5 of these things in one short, concise answer? Now, before I get to that and some examples, I want to give you a few warnings. Stay away from negativity. Also, don't ramble. Don't be too vague or generic. And the biggest one is not to sound like this is an example that you've memorized. Okay, now I did say practice, didn't I? But that doesn't mean memorize it word for word, because if suddenly you get interrupted or you lose your train of thought, then you're going to be stopped without being able to say anything. So memorizing is not a good idea. Practicing and practicing is. So make sure the answer is practiced. Don't memorize it, because then it's going to come out sounding like it's memorized, and that's not going to be good. And the last one is never, ever be motivated by money, even though you might be. Don't say that. Another hot tip I have for you before we get to the example is that you might want to pick one focus of motivation, like one way that you are motivated, and focus on that and craft your answer around that. And I'm going to give you some examples so you'll be able to see what I mean. Are you motivated by excellent customer service? Are you motivated by solving problems? Are you motivated by helping others achieve their goals, like I am? Are you motivated by working in a team? What is it that where are you in your flow? What do you adore? What do you love about work? And what motivates you in that area? So pick a focus. This is why you have to think about this stuff in practice first. Pick a focus, and then you can start to craft your answer based on the specific job and on something real that motivates you in your life. Here is my first answer for you. And if it looks like I'm reading, it's because I am, because I want to make sure that I get this right and I don't miss anything for you. Okay, so here is my answer. And you would take something like this and craft it a little bit differently to fit you if that is what you need. But here is the first of a few examples for you. There are lots of things that motivate me at work, and one of the biggest things is providing excellent customer service. There is a satisfaction that happens when I know that I have genuinely helped somebody, maybe solved a problem or answered a question for someone. It's a bit like the satisfaction that I get from doing something well at work in general, getting results, solving problems, or improving a system. I found a glitch in our reservation system in the last position I was in, and once I figured out how to solve it, things went much, much more smoothly, and there were fewer complaints. In everything that I do, I work hard to do well and to be able to see the results that I achieve make a difference. That is what motivates me. So that one was about problem solving, finding things that are wrong and fixing them, increasing efficiency, decreasing problems and complaints. And it also talked, that was a specific example, but some of those words like problem solving, getting results might be in the job description. Let's go to the second example. Hitting milestones and achieving goals is a big motivator for me. I'm a runner, and over the years I have challenged myself to do longer and more challenging runs, and I get great pleasure from improving my own performance in running and in my work. In business, I have taken courses to upgrade my skills when I find that mine aren't good enough, and I've made use of mentors and coaches to help when I want to understand how to improve my approach or methodology. So I set goals and milestones in everything that I do, and it has helped me achieve excellent results both personally and professionally for the companies that I have worked for. Our team won the top sales award at the last job that I was at because of this approach. And that's how I plan to approach this role should I be the successful candidate. So you can see that that answer was talking about goals and achievements and results and awards. So those are some of the things that you might incorporate if that's true and honest for you, and if that fits for the role in the job description. Let's get to another example. Working in a team motivates me because I firmly believe that more heads together make better decisions, and there is a camaraderie and encouragement when you work with a stellar team. And in the past 2 roles that I've had, I have enjoyed how much we have learned and achieved together. In the last company, we were known for being the team that gets stuff done, and we were a fun bunch with lots of innovative ideas that ended up moving the company into the spotlight as one of the up-and-coming companies to watch in our industry. I bring that collaborative enthusiasm to any team that I work in, and I look forward to doing that here too with your team should you invite me to. So each of these examples hits themes and skill sets that might be contained in the job description, and so what you want to be sure to do is to include, as I said before, keywords, themes, phrases when you're crafting your answer that you need to practice. And as always, rehearse your answer, but don't make it sound rehearsed. And that just takes time. One more thing, this question can be asked in a variety of ways. They might actually say, what makes you tick? Or they might say, what moves you? Or they might say, what are you passionate about? And if you want a way to answer that question in particular, then I have a really good video on that, because what are you passionate about gets asked quite a lot. So if you want to know how to craft an example for that possible question, then click over here and I will see you there.